Hey everyone, welcome to the Internet Capitalist Podcast with Luke Kish, where we talk about mindset, experiences, and frameworks that will help you have fun, get rich, build cool shit, and positively impact the world. I am your host, Luke Kish, and welcome to episode number 7 of the podcast, all about habits, frequencies, and results. Don't let the middle word freak you out. I'm going to keep it very practical. You know, I can go into the la land and play with etheric thoughts and ideas, but I can bring them back down to planet Earth and, convey them in a way that I think you'll be able to understand. So I'm super excited for this one today. It's something that, may sound like common sense, but I think might be something that you haven't heard in the way I'll deliver it. And hopefully it'll help you a lot, to grow more, become more, have fun, get rich, build cool shit, positively impact the world. That's what we're here to do. So let's get right into it. Habits, frequencies, and the results that you have in your life. Okay, so first thing we need to lay down is that your current environment, your current routine, your current way of viewing things, your current, way you wake up in the morning, the side of the bed you get out of, the way you get dressed, the kind of clothes you wear, the kind of food you eat, everything that's around you is in perfect harmony with the version of you that you already are, right? I think we can all agree on that. We're all living a life, and the life that we're living is a byproduct of who we currently are right now. And that byproduct is perfectly aligned with us because we have it, right? If it wasn't aligned with us, we would not have it. And because we do have it, we are perfectly aligned with it. Now, to reach a new level, right? Like a new version of you, a new you that's operating on a different frequency, that thinks differently, that moves differently, that gets out on the other side of the bed, or maybe gets out of a much bigger bed in a much nicer bedroom, in a much nicer house, and puts on, much nicer clothes, and has much different thoughts and much different ways of going through life that's producing much different results, is in a much different place, right? We can agree on that. The you that is achieving what you want to achieve in your future is a different version of you than you right now. This is a different person, right? Same human, but different beliefs, right? Different limiting beliefs, different standards, different ways of moving through life that are producing different results and different outcomes, right? For things to change, you must change. Okay. To demonstrate the point, people go to, maybe you've been to a conference, you've gone to a Tony Robbins event, whatever it is, and you feel so inspired, right? New environment, you're checking into a hotel, you're waking up differently. While you're there, you're totally outside of your comfort zone on who you are and how you're operating. And all of the sudden, new perspectives flood into your brain. You are now in inspired land, right? You see the future, you can do more, become more, achieve more. And you are so excited, and right now, right, like at this event, that when you go home, it's all going to be fucking different, right? When you leave. So why does so little people keep that momentum and keep that progress and keep that vision that they see for themselves at that moment in time, right? The higher level of them that's operating at a greater frequency and vibration than the version of them that they currently exist in back home. Why? Well, you might be able to guess it. What happens when you go back home? You go back to an environment that is perfectly aligned with your old self. So, you have this internal momentum. You come back, boom, you're at 100%. That internal momentum, then on day 2, because you wake up and you see the same clothes, right? You get out of the bed the same way that you've been getting out of the bed. You have the same routine that has been producing the same thinking, that's been producing the same result, been producing the same limiting thoughts, been producing the same standards, been producing the same actions that have been producing the same results. Day 2, you're at 80%. Day 3, it starts to suck you in even more. Boom, down to 40. Day 4, back to the state you were at before you even went to the event. And now all of those perspectives and ideas of what is possible for you, a greater version of you, feels like a whisper far away in the distance. You know, you were there, you remembered it, but some reason you just can't access that same place any longer. Well, here's why. It's because your environment, your habits, how you currently are, and how you're currently moving is in perfect harmony with the old version of you that you're trying to grow out of. So how do we fix this, right? Like, how do we make the change? Number one, be conscious of that, right? Be conscious of that. You can go to an event and come back home, and what you need to do is comprehend that you're in a state, right, away from home that is showing you what you really want, like the higher version of yourself can see. And while in that state, make a contract to yourself and a promise, and think through what are all the changes my higher self knows I need to make right now while I'm in this state that I can comprehend my lower state self might not even agree with in 6 or 7 days when I get back home. But because I know I'm in this state right now, this is the right answer. And that other version is just going to be a little liar that's trying to keep me comfortable and trapped in who I am. I can make an agreement right now that when I get back, I'm going to do these things different to keep myself here. What might those things be? Maybe it's a totally different routine, right? Maybe you used to wake up and, not have direction, and, not think about what you're trying to accomplish at all, and not, talk to yourself well, whatever it is, right? You can invert all of those things, right? Like, I'm going to wake up, have coffee, and I'm going to get the fuck to work, right? If you haven't been doing that, then that's a different version of you that is winning, right? And working through the inertia that you can hold. You can maintain that version of you for 60 days. And then guess what? Now it is how you're operating. Now you've moved further in that direction. Maybe you're like, yo, I need to get the fuck out of where I live, right? Maybe like, seeing what I'm seeing is just too much here. It's too not good for my brain. I'm too stuck in it that leaving made me realize I need to move. I need to fucking, hit an income goal, put 20 grand in the bank so I can leave and go somewhere anew. That could be something. And then what will that do? Create the space for a new you. You go in and you lock in an environment that is totally different, that's giving you different triggers, right? That's like stimulating you in a different way and allowing you to be a different version of yourself. So I hope that makes some sense here, right? So you have the habits, the frequencies, and the results, right? And if you want to have different results, if you want to reach a new frequency, a higher version of yourself, the habits must change. And then these habits are pulled into where you currently are, your environment, and how you're currently operating. So, where do we begin? With the action, right? Like changing something. Okay. Like if you go somewhere, you feel super inspired, you come back, you don't have the means to make a big move. You don't have the ability to really change everything, which I don't believe, right? I think everyone does, but maybe you just don't see that right now. Then you need to get to more fucking places where you can see the perspective. You can see the higher version of you. You can see the habits that would produce the results for that individual. And you need to work yourself into that version of you. Okay? It's totally possible. and you can do it. So, don't be blind to it. Know that everything in your life right now, your friends, your acquaintances, your everything is in perfect harmony with the current version of yourself. And to grow, these things around you must change. Okay. And if you're, kind of in a more fragile place where, you can't impose your will so hard on all of the things around you, and then, regardless of the input that's coming in from the outside and letting that affect you and tell you who you are, you need to be really conscious that these things are doing this, and make an effort to work actively against them, right? To know that this is what's taking place, and to reach a higher version of you, you're going to need to inject different actions, different activities, different thoughts, different ideas that'll allow a new you to surface with new perspectives and thoughts and activities and ideas that are going to produce different results. Okay, you do have this in your control, and taking control of it is something that's extremely powerful and something that can help you a whole lot. So don't let, the same routine just keep you trapped forever. My mentor had a saying, most people say they lived 50 years. He says, I don't believe that at all. Most people have lived the same year 50 times over. And to me, that's fucking terrifying, right? Life is about growth, expansion, evolving. I watched an interview of Scooter Braun. Said he was talking to Jeff Bezos. He's like, Jeff, you're the richest guy in the world. You have everything. What could you possibly want to continue doing all this for? And he just said, I just want to evolve. Life is about expansion, evolution, fuller expression of self. And that comes by hijacking some of these things, right? By hijacking your environment, by hijacking your actions, by hijacking your thoughts, by hijacking your perspectives, and taking control of yourself and your life and saying, okay, I'm going to make a change. So you can do it. I believe in it. I believe in you. Go ahead, try to evolve, get to an event, get out of your current environment, get to a higher place where you can see what the good things for you to do are. Maybe it's stopping doing something. Maybe it's no more Netflix, no more Instagram when I get home, no more smoking weed, no more drinking, no more alcohol, whatever it is, no more porn, right? Whatever it may be, lock in that clear place, the truth. You say, okay, I know higher me is in control right now. And even if lower me turns into a little liar down the road when I bring up the same exact topic about the same exact thing, it tries to convince me otherwise, I know right now I'm clear, and I'm going to listen to this version of myself. I'm going to bring it back home. I'm going to change the situation, change the environment. And in doing those things, I'm going to change my habits, my actions, and I'm going to change myself to grow more and evolve. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is another episode of the Internet Capitalist Podcast. This is Luke Kish. I'm your host. If you liked the podcast, please subscribe and, share it with a friend, whatever you want to do. I really would appreciate it. It'll help me a whole lot to spread the message and build the Internet Capitalist community. So thank you guys. Love you. Bye.